And speaking of map, here we are on Bloody Ridge.
Ooh, I remember this map now.
Yes, and in the bottom
The
left
good old
corner, in
days.
the yellow pieces again, and I appreciate him keeping the color, it makes it easier for all the spectators, it is Dragonei.
Dragonei is facing his opponent, a red Zerg spawning on the top right-hand position. His name is Heusa.
And they are right, they are yellow and red, and together they make the flag of Spain, which is appropriate because Dragonei is from Spain.
But what if Heusa wins instead of Dragonei?
Then he's from Sweden, so he should be blue. And then he would be blue and yellow, which is the colors of Sweden. So this is kind of pointing towards a victory for Dragonei, I feel.
Ah, these colors.
Actually, it's pointing towards nothing, of course, but we have to talk about something in the early game. And we see a very early pool. No, again, from Heusa now. Whoever goes for that early pool seems to get out on top. So Heusa wants to go back to his strategy from the first game. And this map, again, has a little shorter rush distance like Blue Storm does with the chokes in the middle, but a little bit longer than Blue Storm, though.
hmm And I really like this build coming out from Husa because this is what he did in game number 1. He won dominantly over his opponents. So why not go for the build that you're feeling completely safe with? Dragonei, however, he doesn't want to die too early in this game. He's going to go for the gas and then the spawning pool.
It's pretty much the same build. Of course, the spawning pool of Dragonei will be a little bit later, which shouldn't be a problem at all. And the gas timings are almost identical. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen now. Of course, there's going to be some early zergling pressure, probably some baneling pressure as well, but hopefully they can be able to stabilize and get those mutalisks or hydras out, and maybe even go beyond that. That's very rare in a ZVZ, of course, but it's always exciting to see. Dragonei with the early scout. No, okay, yeah, he has scouted and he's on his way back again. Of course, there's no interesting bases over there.
Ooh, interesting. Dragonei, after scouting his opponent's main base, knows what he is facing up against. So he's gonna throw down a spine crawler inside the main base. What do you think about this?
He wants to be super safe, I think. I think Dragonei kind of feels the pressure now. This is a best of third. I think he feels himself that he is the underdog. A lot of people has been predicting Heusa to win this. So it might just be nerves, to be quite honest. I'm not sure if he needed that spine crawler that early, or even needed it at all, to be honest, because their builds are so similar.
Yeah, well, one thing that we do have to note is that we need to make sure Dragonei actually builds an Overlord this time instead of getting supply capped. Because those little nerves, being in a tournament and playing in such setting can actually get the best out of you. Dragonei certainly, he knows how to make an Overlord, he knows how to not get supply capped, but in
Oh,
a
he is.
get.
He is getting supply from him. And here comes the Overlord a little bit too late. I think he had Lara to do that earlier, but I might have been wrong. But the winner of this qualifier has the opportunity to win $600, and that's it's probably more money than any of these have ever won in a tournament. They're not professional StarCraft 2 gamers, so it's a little bit, feeling the nerves. I know I would. Let's just put it that way.
Just a question, does Balings cost supply in this game?
Mm, I don't think so. That's a very good question, and I even play Zerg, but I just never make banelings. But I don't think they cost supply.
Just making sure before I make a stupid mistake again.
Well, so we got Heusa poking in now, and he sees a very well defended Dragonei. I don't think he wants to. You know what? Seeing that, as Heusa, I would just stay in the natural and just make sure he doesn't get his natural up, and just not try and go for any aggression at all, to be honest. Because right now he can just tech to lair, and he is, and just go to very safe mutalisks. I really do not want him to engage, and he is not doing that, and I'm very happy to see that.
Yeah, I actually like how he's playing this right now. He knows that his opponent does not have that many units, and one little mismicro from either of the players will lose them the game. So who's...
Oh, almost. So Dragonei is like kind of testing the waters here, seeing, can I move out now? How many Zerglings does my opponent have? He does have more drones than I do, which is never good in a ZVZ. So actually 4 drones ahead Heusa is, and you can see that down there on this wonderful game heart interface. So that is never good. Yeah, sorry, lack of interesting vocabulary there.
Well, you do want to mute us, so there's a spire going up, and that's going to be a lot faster for Husa. But remember, both players are on one base economy, so we're not going to see any mass mutas just yet. We're just going to see Heusa making little units here and there, and it's eventually going to pile up. But both players need to start looking towards expanding soon.
Yes, and we see Dragonei is very far behind in the technology, and and he's so careful with the Zerglings, making sure he doesn't get any Banelings to connect there. He just barely, Heusa almost had to connect earlier there, I saw, and it just slowly pulling the Zerglings away. But here, we can get a lot of Zerglings kills there, and the poor Banelings have to wobble away. Tries to pick off the one Baneling, but actually the Baneling detonated and killed more than it should.
But still needs to be careful. Oh, nice. Side to that one Baneling. Really nice pickoff from Heusa, having really nice micro in this game. And Dragonei behind this, he does have the layer tech. But where's this? Okay, it's just starting right now. But if you look at Heusa's side, the spire is already finished.
But actually, Dragonei has a lot of energy on his Swarm King, and he could get the Spire out really fast with some neutering Swarm, and I hope he does that, but I think he's just too busy with this pressure that he wants to put on Heusa. He really wants to do some damage. I think he knows that he is behind, at least, yeah, both economically and in tech-wise, so he wants to make something happen with his Banelings.
That's why I like this. He's warping in mass. Really, something happen right now. Here comes the Mutas. If he wants to make something happen right now.
And none of those Banelings connected at all. Sorry, SNM, you're disappearing again. And I would say kind of... Well, actually, he did get some workers there. And more Zerglings coming in from Dragonei.
Yeah, here comes the Zerg. And he's not trying to make... So need some defense back at the main base because now the Mutas are out. And plus...
So the Mutas are harassing now. He's, forcing an enrage from the Swarm Queen. Hopefully he can get some Mutalisks out on his own. He's getting the Scourges, which are very good to defend versus the Mutalisk. But he's killing a lot of drones as well, and the drone count is going down to a very similar amount now. The Mutalisks understand that they're welcome. They might not be welcome to stay for too long, as these Scourges will be popping out soon. So he wants to be careful, not hang out right by these eggs, and moving away just as the Scourges pop out. Very nice play from Heusa. In the meantime, though, no, I thought there was an attack going on there, but it was just a queen.
Oh, but this attack of Mutas can do a lot of damage.
Got one Mutalisk with the Scourges there, but not completely a perfect micro from Heusa, but he only had 3 Mutalisks, and that's difficult to kill Scourges with so few hits. Here comes the Banelings, and Queen's picking off one Baneling, picking off even more Banelings, and I don't know if they're going to get any workers. In the meantime, he tries to pick up the Scourges, and right now they're very similar in both economy and technology. And here comes the Scourges, almost gets a nice sandwich there, but no, he does not want to commit those Scourges to get the Mutalisks just yet. Only Scourges from Dragonei now, no Mutalisks at all, so that's kind of a risky play from him, but he is behind on Mutalisk count, and that's never a good place to be.
I feel like Dragonei sad defense because he's only using Scourge. Actually,
oh, very nice micro from Heusa. They're picking off every single Scourge, and Dragonei really needs to get some Mutalisks out now. Maybe even try and get some Spore Callers to defend, because the Scourges are just not cutting the job. Heusa's micro is just too good, and now there's really nothing Dragonei can do. The Mutalisks are there, the Scourges are here, and there's nothing to defend versus these Mutalisks. And yeah, there's no drones left, and well, a couple of Scourges going to be there, and Dragonei with a good mana GG versus the Franskar.